Ha! Here's the problem. Too many
games.
Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today we're going to be taking you through just what we consider to be the finest games coming to the Nintendo Switch in the month of June, and it's an absolute bloody chonker. As always, this is not an exhaustive list of all the games or anything like that. This is just merely our selection, the creme de la creme on the very top of the games coming out, and it's still a thick layer. It is a thick layer this month. But anyway, that's more than enough waffling. Let's dive right into things. Starting things off on the 1st of June, we have Silt, which is... it was recently revealed in an indie world, and it's a little bit close to my heart because it comes from very near where I live. But more importantly than that, it also looks like a good game, which is considerably more important. It's a sort of underwater exploration puzzle game, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you, the art direction is just gorgeous. All the hand-drawn aesthetic. It just sings to me, and the really limited, it's not even color palette, is it? I mean, it's grayscale. It's rare we get a game with this bold an art direction, and I think that's something to be excited about. Maybe you do as well. Then on the 2nd of June, we have The Big Con, which is a game all about doing illegal things. Can you believe it? It's set in the 90s, and you've got to try and raise money in order to save your parents' video shop and make it so that the nasty men who gave them the money don't come and take the videos away. It's all about theft and obviously con artistry and things like that, and it just looks really entertaining. Morally questionable, but then again, we also have games about murdering people, so, maybe we shouldn't be looking too far into it. I think it looks great. Aesthetic is fantastic. I'm a sucker for the 90s sort of thing just because that's when I grew up. Yeah, his looks are good. On the very same 2nd of June, we have Lamplight City, which is a detective game, if you didn't know. Just like the previous two games, this has got a really, really pleasing aesthetic to me. It's not going to be for everyone, but it really looks like semi-early, it's not early, PC gaming and stuff like that, but, sort of, again, 90s sort of PC gaming. It looks like the sort of game that could run on DOS, It's been on other platforms for a while, and it is supposedly absolutely fantastic, and I don't need any more convincing than that. Also on the 2nd of June, we have Card Shark, which, if the name hasn't given it away, is a sort of card-based game. Sort of. It's more of an adventure game with a lot of card-based mechanics, but more importantly, you're gonna have to cheat a lot. You need to use sleight of hand, you need to rig the deck, and you just need to flat out cheat. You may also get into duels and things like that. It just appeals to me. There's a lot of crime games coming out this month for some reason, and I'm all for it. It's a side of life that you can't experience otherwise without going to prison. Moving on to the 3rd of June, we have Wonderboy Collection, which is unsurprisingly a collection of 4 Wonderboy games. Included in the standard version is Wonderboy from the arcade, Wonderboy in Monsterland from the arcade, Wonderboy in Monster World for the Mega Drive, it's not confusing at all, and Monster World 4. Naming conventions are a thing, and the collector's edition comes with Wonderboy 3 Monster Lair and Wonderboy 3 The Dragon's Trap. Again, naming conventions, how's about that? The Wonderboy games are out-and-out classics, and we've already had Wonderboy The Dragon's Trap re-released. Well, not even re-released. Bloomin' is it even remade as a remaster? It's really treading that line, but the gorgeous one released back in the launch year of the Switch's life cycle. Oh wow, that was good. And if you like that, there's a lot more here to tickle your fancy. Admittedly, not as pretty as the remastered one, but you can't have everything. Then on the 10th of June, we have Mario Strikers Battle League. Now, I've already played this game. We've got a preview all about it that goes through. I'll link it in the description below, so I'm not going to go on about it too much here, but as I say, already played it. It's looking really, really promising. And there's also the demo that you can download now and do the training mode before the online becomes available for 2 days. That's how Nintendo does demos these days. Either way, it's showing mega promise, and I am serious. I'm so excited for it. I really am. On the very same 10th of June, we have Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles, which I've probably butchered the pronunciation of. This is unsurprisingly based on the Demon Slayer anime, and it's been out on other platforms for about a year or so, give or take, and it's finally coming to Switch. We don't get a huge number of fighting games these days, so this is kind of refreshing in a way. I can't say I'm particularly familiar with the anime itself, but this looks like a really solid and really beautifully made game. Like, the animation, ugh. Then on the 21st of June, we have Fall Guys. It is finally coming to Switch and Xbox, and it's going to be free to play. I've still never played this game. I fully intended to, but then they announced it was coming to Switch, and I was like, okay, I'll wait. And then years passed, literally years passed. I'm looking forward to finally giving it a go. It's going to be interesting to see whether it does kind of get a second wind from all this, or whether it's kind of too little too late. Only time will tell. On the very same 21st of June, we have Wreckfest, which I hadn't heard of before, but apparently it's like a port of an older game. Ooh, if you can't tell from the footage, this is sort of a racing game. I mean, it is a racing game. You're driving a blooming car, but it is also, as you might have guessed from the title, all about destruction and things. The big thing that really stands out to me in this game is the physics. They look weirdly accurate, and if they can bring that over to the Switch, that is going to be no small thing. And I don't know, I just think it looks really good. And it's not like anything else on this list, except, is it crime? Maybe. Again, on the very same 21st of June, we have Shadowrun Trilogy, which is a collection of 3 games, hence the name, from the Shadowrun series. This started life as a tabletop game and has been, over the years, made into video games several times. And whilst, admittedly, there definitely aren't only 3 video games from the Shadowrun series, these are the 3 sort of more recent ones, should we say. Well, let's say 3 games, you could argue the other way. Basically, this is Shadowrun Returns, the expansion to that called Shadowrun Dragonfall, and Shadowrun Hong Kong. I can't say I was familiar with the series before seeing that it was coming out, but it genuinely looks really good. I don't know whether I would necessarily play all 3 personally, because that's an awful lot, but I imagine there's an awful lot of really hardcore Shadowrun fans out there who are really keen to play this on their Switch. Are there going to be touch controls? Maybe, because it has been out on phones as well. Then on the 23rd of June, we have Sonic Origins. Yes, we've got Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and Knuckles. Yes, it's finally happening. It includes the original versions of the games and the kind of Christian Whitehead sort of souped up versions, as well as Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which was never done before and is newly done for this. I don't know why they haven't done it before. I know there's a whole thing about the background music and Michael Jackson and that sort of thing, and I don't know how they resolved it, but I'm a sucker for these old games, and for the longest time I've been really annoyed because they release these collections and it doesn't always have all the games. It usually leaves out Sonic 3 and or Knuckles. But this looks like it's doing all of it, and it's doing it with the new Christian Whitehead versions, which are... they are better, they just are. Their games I've played 100 times before, and I'm looking forward to playing them for the 101st time. Then on the 24th of June, we have Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, which is a title that still trips me up occasionally. It's another Fire Emblem Warriors game. I'm surprised they're doing another one personally. I haven't got anything against it. I'm just surprised. I didn't think the original was like a super massive hit. Maybe it was bigger in other territories, and I'm just an ignorant fool. But I enjoy the Warriors games or the Muso games. I find them a good laugh. They don't have a lot of staying power for me, but I know that there's plenty of people out there who will play this game to death, and more power to them. Also on the 24th of June, we have the Somnian Files nirvanA initiative, which I tried to research and I just came back with more questions. The fan base for this series of games is fierce, and this is no exception. People, I really don't know how to describe. I think it's intentionally meant to be obtuse and something that you have to really research deeply, more so than I can do when I've got all these other blooming games I need to talk about. But I have to say, color me intrigued. There's so much going on, and I sort of feel like that I need need to have played the first game in order to fully understand this, or even at least partially understand it. But I can't deny, I love a mystery box, and this is a mystery box through and through to me. I have no idea what's going on, and I love it. Then on the 30th of June, we have Rabbids Party Legends, which I believe is the first Rabbids game, at least released on the Switch. I can't necessarily say for every platform because, like, phones and stuff are a thing, since Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which, that's a fantastic game. We got a sequel coming out this year as well, and this is another party game to sort of battle with the likes of Mario Party. Is it going to be as good? I don't know, but the Rabbids Party games have got a good, solid history behind them. I can't imagine this would necessarily be bad, so I'm holding out decent hope. And then on the 30th of June, we have Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, which... oh lordy. This is technically DLC, but it's kind of like Iceborne with Monster Hunter World. It's kind of its own thing at the same time, and it's looking extremely promising. A load of new monsters, a load of new moves, and quality of life features. It's just shaping up to be a really, really exciting expansion. And yeah, you know, it's essentially kind of like the ultimate version that we had with previous games, but it's you don't have to buy it again. Monster Hunter Rise, I think, is my favorite Monster Hunter game ever, and this is even more of it. How on earth could I be disappointed? And lastly, also on the 30th of June, we have Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course. Yes, it's DLC again. I don't care. I'm including it anyway. I adore Cuphead, as I know fans of the channel will know through and through. And I'm just so excited to be able to play more of it. And, you know, sort of, it's not some sort of mod that is still very good. And, you know, I don't want to downplay the talents of the modders out there from the Steam community and things like that. But coming from the original creators, you know it's going to be of just absolute utmost quality. We get Ms. Chalice as a playable character as well, who's sort of an easy mode, sort of. I mean, I'd struggle to say it's actually going to be an easy mode. But even so, you know, double jumps and, you know, dodging rolls and things like that. It's definitely making things a little bit more accessible, which I think is no bad thing. I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, no, Cuphead needs to be hard and it needs to be tough to a degree, but I think just sort of locking players out just because they're not, maybe they don't have the same dexterity as others, I think that's a bad choice. A little bit of a leg up never hurt anyone. And there you have it. That is our selection of the best games coming to the Switch in the month of June, and no doubt there is more. Like, there is no doubt lots more, but we had to be I had to cut this list down in order to get it down to as many as you just saw, which is ridiculous. Did we miss something that you're really looking forward to? Almost certainly. Let us know what it is with a comment in the appropriate receptacle. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you... I don't know what I'm going to do with him, but he just walked in. That subscribe button, and be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye. I don't know what I'm going to do with him, but he just walked in.